Hey, everybody. I had a person from my mastermind reach out to me asking about help with evaluating a property that he's considering for purchase. So I'm going to call him now and see if we can't talk through it and give him a little bit of help and potentially evaluate what's going on. So the great thing about this one is I don't know anything about this property. I don't have any clue where it is, how many units, what condition, timeline, motivation, price, nothing. So this is a good example of me running through evaluating a property for the first time without knowing anything about it. So here we go.
Hello.
Hey, this is Kieran. How are you?
Hey, Karan, how you doing, man? Good, good, good. How about yourself?
Good, good, really good. Thank you. So yeah, it's good to connect with you finally and to talk about the property and trying to get evaluation on it.
Yeah,
So tell me what's going on. Give me a
yeah,
little
definitely, man.
background. Give me a little understanding of like what you're looking at.
So basically, I started looking at this property initially back in a couple of months. It was one of from my lead generation list. It was completely off market at that particular time. So I started talking to this guy. This property is in Lubbock, Texas,
Okay.
about 51 units. Right. He did have done like few renovations done on the property, new roof and everything. About I would say 95% occupancy. All right. There is some certain room to grow, a certain not much, but there is a room to grow on the rent with the new lease sign agreement and everything. He did have initial issues with the property management team that he had before, but then he brought back the old property manager who lives in the apartment complex herself and then managed the property over there. So we started talking, and I made him an offer, which for him at that point he believed that it's too low for him. Right, I was around 2.5 at that point with him, right, and he was like expecting somewhere around 3.2, but then he did came down to 2.8. Then we were like, yeah, we kind of like off. So it's like, I mean, if you can do more, I can go 2.6 to 2.7. I'm like, no, that is still way too much for me. I would have to stretch myself way too hard, even to get to the point to be 2.6. So I mean, that's where we left the conversation, and like he was like, okay, I'm gonna go and sell it. In the market, I'm gonna list there and be able to get more money out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's your decision, but feel free to reach out to me if something changed, right? So, a couple of weeks back, about a week or two back, he came back to me and asking me, hey, will you be able to do 2.6 as we agree and also cover the closing costs and stuff like that? We started having the conversation again on this particular property and I started talking to Bo about it too. So Bo were like, I mean, we can do 2.6 and cover the closing costs, but we will have to, make sure we put all our best in the, to make sure we correct everything out and make sure that, we align our resources properly before we get into a contract. So that's where, I mean, she started, asking me to reach out to all of you and see who would be interested in, maybe because mainly what I'm looking for is somebody to assist me on the capital raising side of the house and the loan sponsorship. All right. So that would be my target number one right now, to see who would be interested in, partnering with me into basically, raising funds for this particular property. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like, got background on the property itself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. So, this is the first time you're telling me about this property. So I obviously would
Yeah,
have a lot of questions and would need to do, a deeper dive than just this
yeah,
initial conversation. But
yeah,
first question, so did you already do the analysis on this property? Do you have this spreadsheet with
yeah,
the
yeah,
calculator?
yeah,
So is it
yeah,
possible for
yeah,
you to email that to me right now so I can kind of take a look at it
yeah,
and talk to you about it?
definitely. So yeah, I will. Yeah, yes. So I mean, if that's what I was, reaching out. If you be interested, then I can send you all the documents. I had our underwriting team to review it and come up with the number. and all, right? So I have that sheet. I have a OM that you can look at it too, and then also the T12 and everything. So yeah, if you share your email, I can send you the all the details, and you can review it, and then we can get on a call again whenever you feel like you're ready to talk more. Then I mean, can do something anytime today or maybe over the weekend, whatever works best for you.
Okay, so let's just do this real quick. I'm gonna text you my email right
Email.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you can send it to me right now, that would help because that'll give me a chance to like at least take a quick look at it and um get an idea of like what it is. And then I may have some preliminary questions for you. And once we get through that, I
Mm-hmm.
can do a deeper dive into the numbers and then I can give you a call back maybe tomorrow or later in the weekend and we can talk about it.
Sure, sure, that works for me. Yeah. That
Okay.
works for me. Yeah,
Okay.
just text me your email and I will send you all the details that I have.
Okay. I just sent you my email. I texted you my email. So
Okay.
can you send me the
It,
documents?
okay.
Okay. Let me refresh my email. And did you send this to Jack as well for him to evaluate, or was this just Bo?
Jack, no, I didn't send anything. Bo has reviewed it. I underwriting team went through it and did the analysis and shared the sheet with me, which I have shared with you as well. Um, but no, who's Jack?
Jack is one of the people from the group. He's like the resident like expert when it comes to evaluating the properties, and they have a weekly session with him and stuff. But
No,
yeah,
no, no, I haven't. No.
okay,
Yeah, I
it's
can't
okay.
join those weekly sessions because I have a day off too.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me just take a quick look at let me just take a quick look at this property while I have you on the phone. Okay, so this is Ashwood Court. It says it's all bills
Mm-hmm.
paid, which
Mm-hmm.
looks pretty nice. So let's look at the pictures. It has a nice big courtyard. It's got like a little seating area with the pergola.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the pictures real quick. Okay, it's got like an office with a vending machine.
Yeah. Laundry room. Yeah.
Okay, laundry facility. It's nice. And then there's two pictures of like units, two more. It's got gas. And these look like they have new floors and maybe a lot of new paint.
Yeah.
Uh,
So some of the units he did renovate it, but I think there's still some that needed to be. We have to go and just do some little bit of renovation. Yeah.
okay, that's okay. Okay, and then let me look at the general description here. Great location, retail, okay, all the regular stuff. There's an offering memorandum, 6.75% cap rate at 3.02 million. So at 2.6 million, what did the cap rate work out to?
Around eight and a half.
Okay. Still a little, I think a little aggressive. Lubbock is a good market, but you just want to be careful. So, okay, let me go to back to your email and pull up some of these spreadsheets here. So, well, let's look at the OM first. This is the OM. Okay, so this is the pictures. Demographics. Okay, so we have 51 units, 90% occupancy, built-in 52. Current rent is 886 average. Price per unit's just over 50,000, cap rate 6.75. And this says, do you know how close this is to like Texas Tech? Oh, it says located just 3 miles south of Texas Tech. Okay, so that's good. It's close to the apartments. I mean, close to the university. Okay, so this is an interesting page. Let's look at this one. So this is page 8. It looks like they have interior enhancement program, 3,500 per unit. And they're saying you can get $20 per unit for that. Pet rent, $20, reserve covered parking, revenue generated Wi-Fi. Okay. Number of units, again, it's occupancy manager one, 3 buildings. Okay, this is the area highlights. I don't need the area highlights, but it's close to a park. It's Texas Tech is a little north of there. Okay. Ashwood Court, looks like there's some other, maybe some apartments close to it, houses. Okay, let's see this. Garden style concrete slab, which is good. Brick veneer, which is also good. Vinyl plank flooring. Do you know if it has vinyl plank in all of the units, or do some of the units have carpet?
I think if I remember our conversation, he did mention that he did some of the renovations, so there may be couple. I think the ones which are currently vacant that needed to be renovated. So, but
Okay,
not a lot, but there's few that needed to be renovated. Yeah. So, uh,
okay. So the one
I
thing
was
that
thinking to go down and take a look at it, but let's see. I mean, if anybody would be, I was
yeah,
just trying to figure out everything out and maybe then drive down there and take a look at the property.
sure. Okay. So the one thing that jumps out at me real quick on this is on page 14. The HVAC is a chiller boiler system and the hot water is a boiler. So essentially, the landlords, if this unit goes out, and there's usually just one unit for a property this size, there usually be just one unit for the entire property, right? So let's
Mm-hmm.
say you have a problem with the chiller, you have a problem with the boiler, the entire property loses either air conditioning or hot water. So it's
Okay.
definitely a higher risk situation when it comes to that, because
Okay.
now you have, all your tenants that are going to be upset if you have a problem, versus if one person's hot water heater goes out, then only that person's going to be upset,
Yeah.
because you have a
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Yeah.
And it usually takes a substantially higher skilled person to be able to either work on or to repair a chiller boiler slash hot water boiler system, versus if you just had a boiler, a hot water tank in each apartment. um, Most of the time your average maintenance person can, even if it has to be fully replaced, can be easily done by that person. So significant consideration there. There's there's nothing wrong with it necessarily. There are certain benefits to it because it's usually commercial grade. They usually don't go out as often as maybe a in unit hot water heater would, or in unit HVAC would, but it does add
Mm-hmm.
significant risk. And then you have to make sure that you're carrying sufficient reserves if you have a problem, right? So just a
Mm-hmm.
factor to consider. The other
Yeah.
thing that I see here is it says that it's all bills paid, right? So
Yeah.
uh, I personally am not a big fan of that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's again, it's just like Section 8 or anything else. Different people have different preferences. My
Mm-hmm.
personal preference is not to do that. So my question
Mm-hmm.
in respect to that would be, if you wanted to convert this to bill the tenants or have them pay the bills, the first question is for the electric. Do they have separate meters, or do you know if it's on a master meter?
They know. I don't know. I don't think so. They have separate.
Okay, so
So I
you
was thinking of doing the rub. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the rub as the lease continue to renew.
yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. All right. So let's keep that in the back of our mind, and let's keep
yeah.
walking through this. Okay. Financial analysis. Okay, let's look at this. We have 25 1-1s, 26 2-1s, 750 for the 1-1s, 850 for the 2-1s. Current rental rates were assumed at market rents. Vacancy is 10%. Personnel, one on-site manager at the pro. So the on-site manager is a full-time person.
He's a full-time person. He lives there. Yeah, I think he's paying about close to 32K, 3,200 a month.
Okay, so and it says a salary of 30,000 and 1 unit free rent. So, okay. Maintenance labor is included in maintenance costs. Okay.